Hello everyone. This video is about how to draw a dog, and in the video I will be demonstrating about 5 different techniques to improve your drawing, so it's particularly useful for beginner artists. These techniques will help you in every way to improve the proportions and improve the placement of the various parts of the figure. So I hope you get something out of it, and I hope that it's helpful to you. Thank you so much, and please enjoy. Without further ado, let's dive in. Thank you. So in this video I'll show you a few methods of getting the figure down. First we'll start with the top of the head, and we make a line where the top of the head is, and then the bottom of the head about here. Okay, we're just concerning ourselves with a vertical line here. Don't worry about the width of things. At the moment we want to get the proportions down. So just around near the sternum there's another point. We're measuring everything in terms of head size, so the head becomes a unit of measurement. And another point is down where in the middle of the chest there. And another point is about, you can see the back leg, it's about halfway for the back leg there. And the front paw is a little bit past that head unit. So 5 heads is the proportion. Okay, so we use head units as a way of measuring things. So firstly, I'd like to just continue this line here where the bottom of the head is, and on the left side of the page we can make a line approximate. Keep very loose at this stage. Don't try to go into any detail. The thing is to get it right. There's no use hoping it's right, you've got to get it right. Okay, so it rises up the top of the head. We'll just refine that a little bit, and about halfway along the eye socket area just there comes in, and about another halfway, a little bit more perhaps, so just sloping down a bit, we've got the snout. Okay, and we can see by the picture that it goes, the bottom of the head and jawline there goes along, and then it goes up at an angle. Okay, so we can see it's starting to take shape. Now I'd like you to look at this center line. It's very useful, the center line, because we can see how much of him is on one side and is on another side. So the neck area on the right side is around there. If we follow through that line we've just made and take it up, and we'll see how far up here, where does it intersect? And it intersects about here. So we're approximately in the right place. Okay, so that just curves around. Don't worry about any detail, just keep it very, very loose. Right, we can see that goes down and then slightly out, not much, just comes out a bit here. And we've got the dog's left shoulder, if you like, is about about here. We'll refine that later. So that's about there. Now, coming down to that next head unit, we can see that there's a little triangle where his leg and chest are. That starts just above. If we look at that triangle, we can see it's about halfway along and just up a bit. Okay, then it comes through halfway here. It intersects with the center line. That's the chest area we're talking about. Okie dokie, so we've got that leg more or less coming straight down, just splaying out a slight bit. There's the leg there, and there's a little part of that claw, which I forget just offhand, going there, and we can see that his paw is about here. Okay, so just refine that a little bit, just so we can see where we are. There's a nice bit of muscle there, and it comes in and then it comes out again. Not too much, just like so. And keep your lines really light. Okay, so if we go to this point, the second head, if you like, if you go to that point, we can see it's out a lot further than this one. So there's more weight distributed just here. Okay, well, without further ado, why don't we attack the ear, because it's a rather nice feature in this image. So it's just below, it starts just below the top of the cranium, and it's at an angle. It's about halfway, just maybe a little bit more than halfway, and goes past that line about to here. And then if you've made that little line, you can see that there's just a tiny little triangle there, and goes up something like that. Okay, and where does it turn? That turn is about, yeah, just below his nose. That's where that little fold is, if you like. And it goes around, and then seems to do another one of those, and then it comes down here, and there's a little ridge. So that little ridge is, maybe I'll take this out a little bit. There, that can be the ridge there. So it comes straight at it, actually. Okay, looks a little bit narrow to me. It's it might come out further. So always, be prepared to adjust. Yeah, I think the angle's wrong. Okay, so we're not going to worry too much about overcorrecting just yet. We want to get the rest of the dog in. Okay, so we've got that little triangle, which I'll just emphasize a bit there. And that's a nice little point of reference. When you're drawing, we're looking for reference points which we can figure out where is it in relation to something else. Okay, just about here's that little lump, and then it comes out again. And there's a nice bit of muscle just comes down through there. Okay, we want to see where that his right shoulder and that muscle there is, and it's about here. So we can just trace a line up from it, and you see where it relates to the head. Okay, so it's about here. Now, often when we're drawing, we understate it far too much. I might have overdone it, but I think it's right. We'll check. want to get the basic shape down first. Now, what do you think? Do you think it's coming? I'm confident that it's starting to work. I just want to get that eye ridge, the eye socket ridge there. It goes up and down like so. Looks okay. I'm not sure about the space there. Might be a bit underdone. Maybe we're about here, something like that. Okay, so that, have to look carefully with this. It comes down and then it straightens out. And there's the eye ridge on the other side is there. And while we're at it, we have to notice that there's actually another ear in there. So just adjust that, and it comes out from about here. If we trace along the bottom, we'll see how much space there is here. Keep it at the same angle, if that angle is correct, and this one should be too. Directly under the eye area. Something like that. Are we getting enough bulk in the nostril, or just, in the snout? Maybe out a bit further. Okay, now, right. Let's get this other leg in place now. So the weight distribution is on this leg mostly, because he's leaning over there checking out something. So this little armpit joint, if you like, is just slightly lower, and it comes something like that. And this lovely bit of muscle is repeated over here, and that'll be fun to draw later on when we've got it all right. The point is, if I can just make this point, there's no use trying to get it right. If you don't think if it's not right, it's wrong, basically. It's not near enough's not good enough. So we really strive. These things that we learn, it's not, a problem that we can't learn how to draw these things. It's very clear. It just requires a lot of practice and sensitivity at the same time. Now I might just swirl that out a bit. I've just noticed. Okay, so now we want to find out where this paw is here. How far out is it? It's quite a way. So we take a vertical line. We line up this paw wherever it is, and we go straight up, make a vertical line straight up there, and we can see how far out from the head it is. And it's almost a repeat of that to there. So I'd go with that. I'll just make that line and just double check. It could be even a bit further, just something like there maybe. And we take that vertical line down. And it's slightly higher than this one. Okay, so just make a little line there. Now, we think it's here, but there's various ways we can double and triple check. We can go vertically up here and see how far it is out from the head. We can look at, say, the inside line and line up there and follow through that line, see where it intersects. So that's interesting. It intersects about here. So we have to double check. Am I in the wrong position? Am I slightly out? So I think that's right. About here is where it intersects. Now this mightn't be out far enough. Just let me triple check that. Okay, about here it intersects, and I think it's like that, so something's wrong there. Okay, maybe we haven't been broad enough just there, and looking at it, maybe that's the case. So okay, so we understated the position from here to here. We're right now, I'm thinking. There's a beautiful shadow and light shaft coming through here, which is be really nice to draw that when we get into the actual drawing. This phase here, this planning and mapping out phase, is so important. You get this right and you can thoroughly enjoy the creative side of looking for all these beautiful muscles and shadows and light, etc. Okay, so just where his joint is here. Sorry, I'll just point to that. There's a joint for his hind legs, and it's just slightly below that. It's about here. I don't need too much detail, just place it there for now. Right, okay. That seems right to me. Got that beautiful triangle. Oh, okay. Let's get off that for a while. I think this is right. One more thing we can check. We need reference points. So we've got one here. That's a very good reference point where we can see where does it intersect up here, where does it intersect there, etc. We can check all those lines. But there's just around his sternum, just below that head there's a little line across, and then we've got this fold. It's quite close there, and it comes up, and we'll do a follow-through line to see where it intersects. Sorry for taking up the camera, but I can see it's about here. Right, it's about there. You can be quite mechanical at this stage. This one's easy. This goes straight down the middle of that area there. There's actually, I just refine that a bit because I just noticed now, every drawing is a challenge, no matter how experienced you are. So that line there, and I want to give it a little bit more weight to that. So this drawing is going to be a lot of fun once we get all this stuff out of the way, but it's so important. This line comes up higher than this one and lower than this one here. Something like that, maybe slightly further out. It's a different kind of, this is a much more sharper angle and tone, whereas this one's much more soft. And we can take a line from here and see where it intersects. And right, okay, it intersects here. Something's wrong. Okay, we've got to come out a bit further. Yeah, that looks right now. Okay, take it down and see where it intersects down here. Okay, right, so we've got his hind leg here, and I'll just indicate that with a little bit of shadow just for now, just to make it clear what it is. And then here, from this point, it comes down, and then you've got that beautiful shadow here. Okay, this is the point where we need to double check everything, and there's this little angle just there. This obviously all needs refining, but I think we're pretty right. We've got an eye up here which will indicate just simply by a couple of dots that the corners of the eye are really what you should aim for. Don't just draw the shape of the eye, but start with the corners. I find it's easy. And that headline there above there, that's a really interesting part, because it goes down at more or less the same angle as that. And this, of course, will come around. But that's detail which we will get into much, much later. One more thing is we can look at just above that line, and I'll just, to make it easier for you, I'll just take out that headline there. Take them both out and start again with that. You're just below that, right. So this line, these beautiful folds, that detail, so much fun to look at, and be a lot of fun to be drawing it and getting all that interesting stuff there. And on the line just below the front of the eye there's a little arrangement, I don't know quite what to call it, and that goes like so. Okay. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful to you. And if you found it helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, and especially if you could make a comment of some kind, just to let me know what you think and what sort of videos you'd like me to make in the future. Thank you so much.